Hello, I'm Hari Krishna from Section A, and my roll number is 2001011. And my topic is the effect of rent control, with a special focus being in Mumbai. Now, this is a fascinating study, and we're trying to identify what exactly does this slab on rent, cap on rent, do to the rental economy, with a specific focus being in Mumbai. To renters, this rent control is often seen as a very good thing because cheap rents can actually, but the problem is this cheap rent can, in the long run, cost a lot. Let us take a look at the consequences of rent control in Mumbai, where many tenants are paying for their flats the 1940 rent rates. If a landlord receives a few hundred rupees per month for large flats that on the market should be renting at around 1 lakh rupees or something a year, this greatly disincentivizes making necessary building repairs. The landlord may not even be able to afford the tax, may not even pay the taxes for the building, not to mention the upkeep for the building. When you have enough rental situations like this, it can lead to a crumbling city quite literally. Occupied rent control buildings have been known to suddenly collapse. Also, Indian tenant rights are so strong and their courts are very slow that it's difficult to evict anyone. Most landlords simply prefer to leave their rent controlled flats unoccupied rather than risk getting stuck with the same tenant, the same price for the next 50 years or so. And yet, there is a massive housing shortage in Mumbai. Thanks to the cost of rent control, it is estimated that around 15% of the Mumbai housing stock is vacant. This demand and supply mismatch created by price ceilings causes poor and reduced accommodation for the for the lower income people. The Bombay Rents Housing and Lodging Housing Rates Control Act 1947 served its purpose in the short term, but in the long term, it led to reduced supply of houses for rents, dilapidated houses, black income, and reduced taxes to the government. The Rent Control Act should have been modified, and the second generation rent control should have been adopted as was done by many European countries. The Bombay uh, Rents, Hotel and Lodging Housing Rates Control Act was introduced because of the acute shortage in houses in Bombay due to the World War and partition of colonial India. The purpose of the act at that point in time was to prevent exploitation of the tenants and to prevent speculation. The prices were kept very low to provide relief to the city's migrants after the partition. They were supposed to benefit the tenants. Under it, the state put a cap on the amount of rent a tenant paid to a landlord, and this amount remained virtually frozen irrespective of the inflation and the consistent rise in the market rates over time. Rents at about 19,000 buildings were set at 1940 levels to prevent owners from charging excessive rates during times of distress. In its initial years, the system served the purpose of creating affordable housing at stable rents, but it failed in its purpose in the long run. The prolonged continuation of first generation rent control law led to various unintended consequences. It led to various unintended consequences. It led to consistent degradation of housing stock because builders and developers had no incentive to generate more rental housing as the rents were much lower than the prevailing market rates. Thus, almost all new housing being built was for ownership purposes. Most of it was for upper middle class and above. Rent controlled buildings were often unkept and dilapidated because the nominal rents did not motivate landlords to spend on maintenance. An amendment to the Rent Control Act in 1999 allowed flats to be rented out without rent control on a leave and license basis for 1 year at a time. This led to surge in prices of uncontrolled rental properties due to the market distortion created by the shortage of housing stock built for rental purposes. Rent controls gave rise to informal systems where tenancy is transferred from one tenant to another at property rates a little lower than the prevailing market rates, and the landlords and tenants both have a share in it. As tenants held the capital in the form of black money, the central government could not levy wealth tax and capital tax on it. Moreover, municipal taxes were linked with rent, and therefore, along with freezing of rent, income of municipality also got frozen and fixed. In order to make up for this increasing service expenses, the municipality levied a tax as high as 142%, repair tax as high as 402%, and 755% for non-residential purposes for buildings which were repaired by the repair board. Even though landlords got tax-free black money income on every transfer of tenants, they shuddered away the responsibility of repairing buildings on the plea of meager rent income. Thousands of rent-controlled tenants are becoming millionaires as developers tear down crumbling colonial mansions to build luxury towers for the rich and pay huge sums to the tenant to vacate these apartments. In suburban areas where old stalls were demolished by builders for new houses, old tenants of these stalls were given free flats worth lakhs in the new building as alternate accommodation. A large section of these tenants got premises for residence and buildings at ridiculously low rates. Tenancy rates continued even after the collapse of a 100-year-old building. Old houses started collapsing for want of proper maintenance and repair. Instead of amending this act, Repairs Act was introduced, under which landlords were exempted from liability to repair buildings and tenants paid repairs up to 400 to 700%. Tenancy rent controls are much more common in the contemporary world. One important feature is that vacancy decontrol provision, which frees landlords to set rents freely once a rental unit becomes vacant. This amount of rent increase a landlord can impose on a sitting tenant is also limited. It regulates or prohibits the practice of collecting non-refundable deposits, limits the ability of landlords to evict sitting tenants, and restricts the use of fixed-term contracts. Thus, the benefits accrued by the tenants were way more than desired or necessary. The loss to economy in terms of taxes were huge, and this it is not a wise move by the government. The government should have modified the rent control law as much before learning from the experiences of other economies. Thank you.